Alright, y'all, it's your boy Trey.
I see an icon, a showstopper, but they not gonna believe me cause I'm just a junior. So I tell them find a wife and a daughter.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Trey, man. And today we're gonna be talking about a hot topic right now. Just since last night, a hot topic. J. Cole apologized to Kendrick Lamar at his Dreamville Fest. By the way, y'all, I'm going to Dreamville Fest next year. I think it'll be really good. I really want to go to that. I think I need to go to that actually. But when J. Cole did this, literally everyone, listen to this real quick.
I'm so proud of that project, except for one part. It's one part of that shit that make me feel like, man, that's the lamest shit I ever did in my fucking life, right? And I know this is not what a lot of people want to hear. I know I can hear my niggas up there right now like, nah, don't do that. But I gotta keep it 100 with y'all, right? I damn near had a relapse, right? Because y'all heard some shit that happened 2-3 weeks ago, however long it was. Y'all heard that bazooka that was dropped on the motherfucking game, right? So all of this time of me moving on my own accord, for the first time I was tested. Why am I tested? Because I got the world and I got my niggas like, what you gonna do, Cole?
Okay, this is the first part I want to talk about. Everybody literally is criticizing J. Cole for they just attacking, bro. Honestly, they just attacking him on Twitter because he apologized. They saying he waved the white flag. They saying he wanted all the smoke, and when the smoke came, he didn't want the smoke. This is what I think. This is what everyone is failing to actually realize about this entire thing. Kendrick did not directly shoot a shot at J. Cole personally, or just if we being honest, y'all, I really don't think J. Cole. I really don't think Kendrick even wants to be with J. Cole. This is my thing. I think since J. Cole did the songs with Drake and was on tour with Drake, Kendrick just talked about the big three, but he didn't directly come at J. Cole. All he said was the first person shooter and forget the big three. It's just Big Me. He made a whole nother few verses about Drake. I came with all these nines. You gonna see Pet Cemeteries. He said your best work is a light pack, talking about Take Care or Nothing Was the Same. But I guess for some reason, since he said the big three, everybody just like, oh, J. Cole, what you gonna do? J. Cole, what you gonna say? And J. Cole apologizing like this just shows you he's not changing for anybody. He's gonna stay true to who he is as a person. And he was peer pressured, he basically said, into dropping a diss track. And I have so much respect for J. Cole for that, because y'all don't realize anybody can be peer pressured into doing something. You could be one of the most famous people on this planet, famous rappers on this planet like J. Cole, and get peer pressured into dropping a diss track you don't even want to drop, because you consider this dude your homie. He considers Kendrick his homie, right? Like a friend. And he dropped a diss track coming at his catalog. When you actually listen to that diss track, J. Cole didn't even try. So a lot of people criticized the diss track. It was solid. It was still a solid diss track. But if you listen to that, you can tell he didn't even try for real. If J. Cole really wanted to, I'm sure he can put together a classic diss track, which is what everybody wanted. Everybody wanted J. Cole to drop something like a No Vaseline by Ice Cube. I swear, hey, No Vaseline, I think that's the name of the song. No Vaseline is one of the best diss tracks ever. But everybody wanted that energy from J. Cole to come at Kendrick. But the thing is, Kendrick didn't directly come for him. So I bet J. Cole just thinks like, I don't have to respond. Drake has to respond, which is the case now. Drake still might not even respond. It don't really matter. J. Cole basically said last night, this is Drake's beef. I only hopped in because people wanted me to. basically. And some people might say, how can you be peer pressured into doing something you want to do? I mean, it happens happens all the time to regular people. Like, that can happen to anybody. We are all humans. Like, that can happen to anybody. But I feel like I definitely got a lot of respect for J. Cole for staying true to himself and just being honest, being that vulnerable. Name another rapper who would probably do that. This is why J. Cole is different. Name another rapper who would do that for real. And you don't know. So many rappers are worried about what people outside of their fan base think. A lot of these people who are criticizing J. Cole aren't even his fans. And I see a lot of people saying J. Cole out of the big three. How you gonna take somebody out of the big three who's the best right now out of the big three? J. Cole currently is the best. Out of Kendrick, Drake, and J. Cole is the best out of all three of those rappers currently. And you can't tell me he's not. Look at all of their last studio albums. The Off Season, Mr. Morale, For All the Dogs. J. Cole, The Off Season is the best out of all three of those, and you can't tell me it's not. Like, you can't take somebody out of the big three, especially academics. I see him trying to come at J. Cole saying, like, let me show y'all some of this stuff that Ak said. This dude is crazy. Like, you can't attack a dude because he stayed true to what he believes, and he's not gonna let the world influence what he does. Like he said, that's one of the lamest things he ever did in his life. Lamest things he ever did. He said, I knew J. Cole wasn't about that shit when he was getting buttered up by Drake every night. This is the thing. I don't think Ak went to one of Drake or J. Cole's concerts, but I did. The crowd got the loudest when J. Cole came out, not Drake. So he can't say that. Like, it was a lot of people on those tours who were there to see J. Cole. There's a lot of people on those tours who were there to see J. Cole more than Drake. Like, I personally, when J. Cole came out, I never seen a crowd get that loud before. Personally, but I guess that's what Ak believed, man. And then Ak said, he said J. Cole was never built to be number one. He was always the middle child. Leave it to Drake and Kendrick to battle it out, but Drake hasn't even responded. At least J. Cole said something. He did something. He might have apologized, but J. Cole responded. Let you know he ain't scared. Now let that be another rapper who J. Cole doesn't consider a friend or even a peer. J. Cole might actually put a crazy diss track together. Like, people not realizing J. Cole and Kendrick are cool. He just was mentioned a little. Drake was mentioned basically the whole verse. Like, man, they say if Drake apologized to Kendrick, I'm done with rap. I'm gonna cover and only listen to country music. Ak is a little funny, but man, y'all can't criticize J. Cole for staying true to himself and standing for what he believes is right and wrong. When he said spiritually that messed him up, think about that. Think about how much he didn't want to drop that diss track to where it messed with him spiritually. Like that's tough. Think about that. Like, I know if I did something I didn't want to do, it would mess with me a lot like that too. But let me know what y'all think down below. Also, y'all don't be throwing no hate in my comments either. I don't want to hear that. I love J. Cole, I love Kendrick, I love Drake, love all those dudes. Those are all phenomenal rappers. And y'all stop saying y'all gonna take J. Cole out the big three. You can't take him out the big three, especially because he's the best out of the big three right now. Like, and he has never been, you know what, let me say this. Ever since J. Cole has started rapping, he has never been the third in the big three. He's always been one or two. He has never been the third. So don't start right now. Y'all better show J. Cole some love, cause he could have just typed that on Twitter and tweeted it. He could have made a video. No, he announced it in front of an entire crowd. Imagine what some people were saying to him in that crowd. That's a real dude for you. That's a real stand-up dude for you, for real. But let me know what y'all think about that down below, man. I mean, it was crazy. It was crazy to see something like that, especially if you didn't expect it. But J. Cole a real one for that, for sure. Y'all hit that like and sub button. I'll see y'all next video.